Hello everybody, welcome back to another Warhammer 3 video, and unlike what you might be used to from me, this is not a gameplay video, as it should be pretty obvious from my screen. This is going to be using the ever popular tier maker tier list program to rank all of the factions in Immortal Empires up through and including Thrones of Decay. So, that's a lot of factions, and let's just say, I'll just say right from the beginning, I have not played all of these factions. So that's why I have this lovely haven't played category, which you're going to find there's a lot that's going to go into that because there's a lot of factions I haven't played. And another reason why I wanted to do this is because as I'm doing the 75 turn campaigns, I want to have an idea of what I haven't played because I don't think I've ever seen it on paper per se. So I think this will give me a good idea of factions that I can play in those shorter campaigns just to get a flavor for how the faction works. Also, there are some factions that I have played, but for like less than 20-25 turns. So I might just include those in the haven't played category just because I don't feel like I've gotten a good flavor of the campaign until I've played them past, that 20-25 turn mark. So those will likely go into the haven't played category. And one final thing is that some of these I may have played in Warhammer 2 and not necessarily in Immortal Empires. And I know that there's a big difference between Mortal Empires and Immortal Empires as far as start positions, who you're fighting, who your enemies are, all of that stuff. So, I understand that, but I think for those, I may have gotten a good enough idea of the faction in order to rank them. So anyway, with that out of the way, I think we'll go ahead and get started. And I did try to put these in order as best as I could. I double and triple checked to make sure that I had everybody and that they were in the right order. So if they're out of order, if I forgot somebody, really hope I didn't forget somebody, but if I did, I apologize, bear with me, and I can always add that in the description where I would put them if I happen to miss somebody in the list. So all right, without further ado, we're gonna go ahead and get started here. So I'll just go ahead and put these first three. So we've got Kazrak, I think this is Malagor, and Morker. I haven't played any of those. Honestly, I know where Morker starts. I don't remember where the other two start. I think Malagor is up by Franz. Kazrak, I can't remember. So that goes to show how much I play Beastmen, which is not very much. So those three are candidates for future games, I guess. But I have played Torox, and I'm going to put Torox in B tier. Nothing against Torox. He's actually the type of faction I really enjoy playing, with a very strong dueling type legendary lord that I can just throw into a blob and then forget about. So he's very good in that regard, but just I'm not overly impressed, I guess, with the Beastmen, their units, their roster. So B tier is kind of where I would put him. Moving on to Bretonnia, we have Lewin, who I did do as a 75 turn campaign. And I'm going to probably put Lewin in C tier just because I'm not good with cavalry. I guess his faction was okay, but I'm just not good with cavalry, and that's their whole shtick. So I'm just going to put him in C tier. Alberic, have not played, so I can't really comment on him all that much. I don't really know anything about him. Faye Enchantress, I also have not played. I mean, I guess you could say I played her with Lewin because I confederated her, but I haven't played her on her own. And then Rapunzel, I played very briefly, and I'm trying to remember if I went past 25 turns with Rapunzel, but I think I did. And I think I would put her probably in C tier as well. Just, again, I don't want to say they were forgettable campaigns, but nothing really, jumped out at me as being, fantastic. So that's Bretonnia. Now moving on to Chaos Dwarfs. I have Astrogoth here. I did play Astrogoth in both Immortal Empires and in the, I just lost the Realms of Chaos. So I will put Astrogoth probably at B tier with Torox. Again, it was a fun campaign, but I think of the Chaos Dwarf campaigns, I prefer Dreshoath and Zatan. So I would probably put both Dreshoath and Zatan at A tier. Just because Dreshoath is fun for having like high magic usage, and then Zatan is fun because he's definitely more focused on like the economy, and I just like the units that he buffs, because Astrogoth buffs like the bull centaur renders and such, and I just don't heavily play with those ones. So those are the Chaos Dwarfs, and I apologize if I go through this very fast, but you know, I don't want to make this like an hour-long video, so I'm trying to go through it fast. And there are some factions I may talk about a little bit more, just the ones that I really enjoy. Next one is the Demons of Chaos with Daniel, and I have not played Daniel. I honestly, I don't know if I ever will play Daniel. There's just really nothing that interests me about that campaign when there are so many other flavors of campaign that I could play with Chaos. So, I don't know. Plus, it kind of confuses me, but maybe that's exactly the reason I need to actually play it. So, who knows? It's going on the list. Maybe it'll be in the future. Next up, we have the Dark Elves. So, starting off with Malekith. Right now, for me, Malekith is probably a B tier. And it really is just more of an issue with the Dark Elves themselves. I would probably put Morathi as... I could probably put Morathi as B tier also. Oops. And then Crone. I'll be honest, I didn't have a ton of fun playing as Crone when I played versus Jason as Nakai. So I'm probably going to put Crone as D tier. I don't really like playing with the Sisters of Slaughter and the Witch Elves, and I know Morathi has a little bit of that, but Morathi has a much better spell list and casting than Crone does. I didn't really like the Crone campaign. Plus, she's starting up in the Chaos Waste. It's really difficult with kind of the enemies that are around her, so not my most fun Dark Elf campaign. And then we got Lokir. I think I have played Lokir a little bit, but I don't know that I played him enough to really do him justice. And a lot of people say Lokir is one of the best Dark Elf campaigns. So rather than me try to remember how I played him, I'm just going to put him as haven't played, because again, I don't remember anything about playing him. And I think it's one of those where I would want to try to give him another shot to really do him justice, since people like him a lot. After that, we have Malice, and you guys are going to hate me for this, absolutely hate me for this, but I am a Malice fangirl. I love Malice as a character. I love Malice's lore. I loved the books that I read on Malice. I just love his mechanics with Zarkan, so I'm going to put him up in S tier, because I have a lot of fun playing Malice. Again, it's the whole, like, throw him into a blob and let him go, and then spam the black arc spells. It's so much fun. So, he's going in S tier. And then we finally come to Rakarth, who, again, I didn't really enjoy playing, but I don't know that I hated it as much. And I don't want to say hated, but I don't know if I disliked it as much as Crone, so I'll put Rakarth at C tier. Next we come to the dwarf factions, and I love playing dwarves. Some of these I haven't played, but I've played some of them several times. So Thorgrim is one that I haven't played all that often, but I don't mind playing him at all, so I'm going to put him in B tier, just because he is one that I will pick up on occasion and play. He's probably not my first choice, but he's not a bad choice, I don't think. Ungrim, I played recently for like a few turns, and I think I could have a lot of fun with him because he does get very strong, but again, I'm going to put him as haven't played, because it was just... I think I logged on one night and just randomly picked Ungrim, and this was after Thrones of Decay when the Slayers had some of their buffs, so I was like trying that out a little bit, but I played for like maybe an hour and I really didn't get very far, so I will have to give him another go. Belagar. Belagar I think is very fun. So I put Belagar at A tier. Belagar has that crazy mechanic where you have to go take Carrick 8 peaks before like you can really get off the ground. You're hampered with your army upkeep until you take Carrick 8 peaks, which is kind of annoying, but the fact that he starts with those spirit heroes, like incorporeal heroes, whatever, that's kind of cool. And Belagar himself is very, very strong, so he's another one that's shielded, tanky. I mean, dwarves as a whole are tanky and fun to play, so but I'll put Belagar at A tier. Grombrindle, I've played a little bit. I'm going to put him at C tier just because I never really was able to get off the ground with him. I always struggled versus Malekith and then sometimes Valkia. There's a lot of enemies over there, so not bad, but probably not my favorite. And then I'll put Thorek at S tier. Thorek is a lot of fun. Thorek, when you give him the Rune of Spite and massively buff his Quarrelers, he becomes an unstoppable beast. So he is a lot of fun to play if you can get him up and off the ground. And then finally, Malachi, I have not played yet. So have not given Malachi a run yet. I should, now that they have fixed some of the grudge mechanics. I should give him a try and see how he is, but I just have not done that yet. So that is it for the dwarves. Next up, we come to the Empire. So we have Franz himself, which I want to love Franz, and I think I'll put Franz as B tier. Yeah, I'll put him as B tier just because I want to play him so bad, but the Empire's a mess. And right now, if I'm playing the Empire, it's going to be Elspeth in the Empire. It's not going to be Franz, just because she's got some really cool mechanics with the guns and whatnot. So if I can get better at playing Franz, he might go up. But right now, with my play style, I don't do well with him. Come to Gelt. I'm going to put Gelt at A tier. I've been playing him, and the wizard school mechanic is really cool. I'm having a lot of fun. I haven't really played him enough to call him S tier, like one of my premier factions, but he's been a lot of fun to play. Marcus, I have not played. Volkmar is one that I played a little bit, but I'm going to say I haven't played him because, again, didn't do enough justice to make it worthwhile. And then Elspeth, I'm going to put at A tier. Again, had a lot of fun playing Elspeth. She was fun. So that is the Empire. Now, moving on to Grand Cathay. We have Miao and Zhao and Yuan Bo. And I think I'm going to put all three of them at A tier, which may be a bit of a cop-out, but I don't think any of them are S tier for me. I mean, I played Miao for a very, very long time. One of my first very, very long campaigns. Had a lot of fun, but again, she's not one that's like there are a few factions in mind that I have that I'm like, I love playing them over and over again. So much fun. And I don't know that I would put her in that category just yet. So that's Cathay very quickly. And then after Cathay, we have Greenskins. So I've got Grimgor. Grimgor, I think, was my very first recorded faction campaign on YouTube. So he holds a special place in my heart. And he's another like really strong legendary lord. So I'm going to actually put him in the same category as Torox. Again, both of them are very similar in that they're hard to defeat when they really get up and running. And he is a lot of fun to play when you get him with his black orcs. Next up, we come to Azhag. I think that's Azhag, Bone Rattlers. And I don't think I've actually played Azhag outside of being confederated by Grimgor. So we'll put him in the haven't played category. Skarsnik, again, I don't think I've played Skarsnik. And Wurzag, haven't played Wurzag. Did play Grom, and Grom is fun. I don't think I would say Grom was as fun as Grimgor, so I'll put him in C tier. But I didn't hate playing Grom, so it wasn't Lacrone Hellebron treatment there. Next up, we have High Elves, and I love High Elves. So right off the bat, Tyrion, S tier. Tyrion's one of my S tier. Would play over and over again. Love playing his faction. Lots of fun. Teclis is a difficult one for me to play, but I do like the idea of Teclis. So I'm going to put Teclis at probably... I'll put Teclis at B tier. Alariel is going to be A tier because she's another one that I really enjoy playing a lot, and you get her Sisters of Avalorn stack and she's a ton of fun. But I wouldn't say she's my premier high elf faction. It's going to be Tyrion. Haven't played Elithanar, so he's going to go down there. And then Eltharion I have recently played, and he was a lot of fun, so he's going to be A tier. And then Imric. Oh boy. I feel bad about this, but I did play Imric a little bit, and I struggled so bad. I struggled against Tretch, and I think I played Imric before Dreshoeth was kind of in that area, so I haven't even really experienced it with like an upgraded Kugath and Dreshoeth and all of that. So I'm going to probably put him at... Oh boy, I don't want to do D tier because I didn't hate playing him. So I guess I'll do C tier. Yeah, that sounds good. Okay, so that's the high elves. Those are the high elves. Next up we have Khorne, which is Scarbrand. Scarbrand I think I could really enjoy playing, but I haven't played him enough to say like he's S tier for me, so I will say Scarbrand is B tier. That sounds about right for him, I think. And if I ever get to play him more seriously, he might move up to A. I don't know that I see him ever being S, but maybe A. All right, so that was quick because it's just Scarbrand. So next up we have Kislev. So Katerin, oh boy, I want to love Kislev, but I just can't, given how they are with like the devotion race, the followers race, their position in chaos with Throt and Archaon, and there's just a lot going on over there. So I'm going to put her at C tier. Kastalton, I think I played a little bit and I did not enjoy. So Kastalton's going to be D tier with Crone. I just did not enjoy that at all. Boris, honestly, haven't ever played. Haven't even unlocked him in the game. So I really should get on that, because not that I think he's going to be good, because I don't think I would play him well, and he's got a terrible start position in my opinion, but I need to at least unlock him as a playable faction. Mother Ostankia, I think I'm going to put her actually at A tier. I had a rough start with her faction, but boy, once you get that final hex or whatever that's called, oh man, it worked out so well for me with Vlad being the end game and then me being able to just completely debuff him and cripple his armies and have them slow the attrition. So that was kind of fun. All right, moving on to Lizardmen. We have Hexawaddle, Mazdamundi. I've played Mazdamundi a little bit. He's a great spellcaster, so I'll probably put him at B tier. He's not my favorite lizard man, but he's not bad to play. He is a lot of fun. Krokgar, I have played Krokgar, and I did not do well as Krokgar, so Krokgar is going to go C tier. I struggled with him, and his economy for me was just trash. Tehenowen, I have not played. Tic-Tac-Toe, I have not played. And then we come to Gorok, S tier. Love Gorok. I could play Gorok every single time. I love Gorok. And then Akai I have not played, so can't really say anything about him. And then Oxyatl. I actually really enjoyed playing Oxyatl, so I'm going to put Oxyatl in A tier. The one time that I played Oxyatl, really fun mechanic, being able to jump across the map all the time. Really enjoyed that, so he'll be in A tier. Now, next up we have Norska. Wulfric, I have played a little bit, and again, it was kind of a a forgettable campaign. So I think I'm going to put Wulfric at C tier. And then Throg, I have not played before. Norska, I think, needs some help. But the nice thing is, I'm pretty sure that the announcement for the next DLC included Norska. Unless I'm completely making that up. It was Norska, Khorne, and Greenskins? I know for sure it was Khorne and Greenskins. I'm pretty sure it was Norska. So this ranking could change after that DLC drops. Now, next up we have Nurgle, and I'll just say, haven't played Kugath. I played Tamarkon a little bit on my own, and I think Tamarkon is B tier. I didn't play very far, but I played enough to kind of get an idea of the faction, but I think with some time, he might be an A tier. But I'm not 100% sure I love the Nurgle building mechanic, so I don't know. He might just sit at B tier. And then Epidemius, however you say that, I have not played him either. So my haven't played column is getting larger and larger. Goldtooth, Ogres right now, I'm going to say are C tier for me. Again, I want to like them, both Goldtooth and Scrag, and I just don't enjoy playing Ogres right now. Although maybe it was Ogres. Maybe it's not Norska. Maybe it's Ogres. I think it is. Yeah, it's Ogres, Khorne, and Greenskins. So, sorry, Norska. I guess Norska's not getting help. Or maybe I'm completely wrong about all of this. So you guys can tell me in the comments. I know 2 out of the 3. I just cannot remember that third one. I'm pretty sure it's Ogres. But anyway, moving on to Skaven. You'll be surprised to know, have not played Queek. Have not played Skrulk. Have not played Tretch. Ikit Claw, S tier. I'm absolutely loving my Ikit Claw campaign. So much fun. Loving Ikit Claw. Another one that I would play over and over. Snikch. I actually really enjoyed playing Snikch when I played Snikch. So I'm going to put Snikch at A tier, actually. And then I have not played Throt. So that was pretty fast. 2 that I really like, and then 4 that I really just need to give a good college try. Nakari and Slanesh. I played Nakari in the Realms of Chaos. I did not play Nakari in Immortal Empires, so I don't know if I should. I probably should put Nakari in haven't played, just because I feel like Immortal Empires for Nakari is so much different than Realms of Chaos just starting on Ulthuan, that I would probably really need to give that campaign another try to really be able to rank Nakari. Moving on to Tomb Kings, we have Settra the Imperishable. And I would say Settra for me is probably a B tier. He's definitely like a chariot-focused faction, which, again, is really bad for me, being terrible with cavalry and such. But I like his faction. It's just Tomb Kings take so long to get up and running. So you really do have to play them for like 100+ turns for them to start getting their good stuff. I played Katep a little bit, and I really wasn't all that thrilled. I wouldn't say that I hate his faction, but it was C tier. It was kind of just mediocre. And then, goodness, I just forgot her name. Khalida. Khalida, I would put with Settra. Fun faction. Wouldn't say it's like super fun, but I do enjoy playing Khalida. And once she gets up and running, she is definitely a powerhouse. Can be a powerhouse. And then Archon, I have not played, so my list here is getting a little bit bigger, too big for my page. Kairos, I don't think I really played Kairos enough. The Changeling was fun. I would say B tier. I haven't played the Changeling since the Shadows of Change DLC dropped, so I should try playing his faction again, because I did enjoy it. I did have fun playing as the Deceivers. Moving on to the Vampire Coast, Luther Harkon, I have not played, which Jason would kill me for saying, because Luther Harkon is like one of his favorite factions to play. Count Noctilus, I would say B tier. I enjoyed playing Noctilus, was fun. Aranessa, when I played her campaign, it was okay, but again, it wasn't like, I didn't have so much fun playing her campaign. Same with Silostra. Haven't played a ton, but I don't hate her campaign, so C tier is probably where she fits in. All right, we're getting there. Vampire counts. So we have Manfred, who I have not played. I played Manfred in Mortal Empires, and I know I said I might include Mortal Empires, but it's just been so long, and he was a different faction. He was Sylvania back then, and so I'm just going to say I haven't played him since he is in a completely different spot, and I really probably should give him another try before I rank him seriously. Same with Heinrich. I have not played Heinrich. And then I have two of the Sylvania ones on here, one for Vlad, one for Isabella. So this first one, Vlad, I played Vlad a little bit on my own, and I did have a lot of fun with him. So I actually would put him at A tier because he is very strong. If you get used to just rebuilding your entire army after every battle, because you and Isabella and your Shadows caster, I think Emmanuel is her name, like you guys just solo armies, and then your army, like I got to the point where I was just kind of like lining them up in the back, and then my heroes and Vlad would go in and just wreck. So that was kind of fun. And then Isabella, I have not fought, or I have not played Isabella as the Legendary Lord. And then Helman Gorst, I actually put in A tier too, because I played Helman Gorst with his zombie doom stack. And that was a lot of fun. Again, you have to play every battle, and you have to almost like fast forward every battle, because like auto resolve says you lose everything, and in order to actually win, you have to like fast forward, because it takes forever for your zombies to kill anything, just battle of attrition. But I kind of liked it. I thought it was kind of fun. I actually took out Grimgor and a bunch of his higher tier units just with basically zombies and Mortis engines, so that was kind of fun. Now we come to the Warriors of Chaos. Archaon, I am going to put Archaon at haven't played, because I've played Archaon several times, but not for extended periods of time. So I don't want to give him a ranking until I've had a chance to actually like play him for a bit. Kolek, I would say B tier. I enjoyed playing Kolek's campaign. Nothing against it. Just nothing like wowed me with it. It's fun. It's just not A tier fun. Sigvald, haven't played. Azazel, haven't played. Festus I would put with Kolek in B tier when I played Festus. Again, because he can basically give his army healing or attack bonus. I had a lot of fun playing that when I did his 75 turn campaign, so he was worthy of a B tier, I think. Valkia, now this might surprise people, but I'll put Valkia at A tier. I had so much fun when I gave her the Sword of Cain. Holy cow, like that was so much fun. So yeah, she'll go A tier. If you can get her the Sword of Cain, and even now if you could get the Nemesis crown, like she doesn't care about control. Like, you don't really have settlements because you have vassals. Just give all your stuff to your vassals, and then you can go wreck the whole world. Like, that would just be so much fun. So, Valkia is A tier. Let's see. Village. I have not really played Village. Be'lakor. I played Be'lakor a little bit. I don't know that I played Be'lakor enough. Like, I'm going to put Be'lakor at C tier, because I did really poorly with it, and I don't know if it was my particular game, but like the High Elves were super aggressive to me, as was Bretonia, and I just couldn't get off the ground, I think, with Be'lakor. I've heard a lot of people say Be'lakor is incredibly powerful, so I'll have to play it again and just see if I can get up and running better than I did when I played him before, but boy, that time I played him, it was just not great, so... So that's the Warriors of Chaos, and now we're down to our last faction, which is the Wood Elves. Orion, oh boy. I'm tempted. Alright, so let's see here. I'm really tempted to put Orion at S tier. Or should I go A tier? because I did have a lot of fun playing Orion when I played versus Jason. And when you get the like declare war on everybody and your army is basically free, I was so powerful. Like I was basically steamrolling over everything. But is he S tier worthy? I'm going to put him at A tier because when I think of like my premier factions, like if I think of the other ones I've put up here, I don't necessarily put Orion in that same category. So it's really close though. Like if I could have an A, like an in-between S and A, I would probably put Orion there, but I think I'll just have him settle in A for right now. Maybe I'll have to play him again and see if that bumps him up at all. Durthu is going to go B tier. Nothing wrong with Durthu. Really enjoy playing Durthu. Just not as much as Orion, I would say. Sisters of Twilight, I would say same as Orion. Another faction that I really enjoy playing. Very ranged focused, very strong. Definitely different part of the map than where Orion and Durthu are. So you can really spread out. And then the whole mechanic with like jumping from magical forest to magical forest is really fun. So I'll put them at A tier. And then finally, kind of going out with a want. I have not played the Wargrove of Woe, so can't really comment much on her. People have said that she's a lot of fun to play, but it's hard. It's hard when I sit down and want to play a Wood Elf faction. I always default to one of these two. Sometimes Durthu, and then Draika just gets like pushed to the bottom of the list. So I will have to set out to play her sometime, and she might be a good one to do for a 75 turn campaign. She just is in a rough spot right now, being around Festus and Vlad, and then you've got like Throt and Chaos to the north. Like she's in a rough zone, so that could be a bit of a challenge for me. So this is the final list. My top 5 factions: Malice, Thorek, Tyrion, Gorok, Ikit Claw. And then you can see the rest of how I stack everybody else up. And I guess I can't get them all to fit on one page. So here's the list of what I will have to try to prioritize for my 75 turn campaigns once I finish out the one I'm currently working on. So if you have any suggestions, primarily from this list, that you would want me to play, please let me know. Otherwise, maybe I'll just put them into the randomizer and see what comes up. Except for Boris, I have to actually unlock him first, so I'll have to make a point to do that. But anyway, everybody, that is my tier list. Let me know your thoughts. Let me know how much you disagree with my very subjective ranking, and I hope you enjoyed this video.